Hello, it's Patrick here from Pick Studio. I have an exciting announcement to make. We are starting a new channel called Pick Media, where we teach you how to play different instruments, how to do different visual art techniques, tutorials. We got tutorials. Now for our first tutorial. We've all seen those videos where you got these guys, I think they're called Axis of Awesome, where it's kind of a comedy shtick and they play like a bazillion songs using the same 4 chord shapes.
Recognize this?
Yeah, that's Don't Stop Believing by Journey.
And the cast of Glee? Yeah, there's a few more songs with the same chords. Check it out.
Yeah, that's not unique. Pop songs are often just 3 or 4 chords. They just kind of rearrange them. So this particular lesson I'm putting together for somebody who has no experience playing guitar. This is absolute, starting from square one. But you don't want to start with Hot Cross Buns. You don't want to start with Mary Had a Little Lamb because, frankly, that's boring. So we want to get you playing some songs as quick as we can. And then we're gonna kind of sprinkle in some theory in future videos. But first things first, we're gonna try and learn 4 chords. G, D, E minor, C. Don't get stressed out if your fingers start to hurt, if it's starting to sound kind of like blah, that's just part of the learning curve. So get excited about the journey. Don't get frustrated if the results take a couple weeks. With these 4 chords, you can play like a bajillion songs. It doesn't matter what genre, if it's country, folk, pop, rock, blues, whatever. Square one, we gotta get 4 chords down. We have different parts to the guitar, okay? We got our head, our neck, our body, pretty straightforward. And then we have these spaces on the neck of the guitar. These are called your frets. Each of these frets are assigned a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as you go up. There's markings on certain frets. Often there's a marking on 3. There's always one on 5, 7, 9, 12. So you can kind of quickly find where you are on the neck of the guitar. Now, we aren't going to worry about learning notation or how to read music or anything at this point. We're just going to learn basic rhythm guitar, 4 chords, G, E minor, C, and D. All right, so for our E minor, 2 fingers, 2nd fret. Okay, so we're on the 2nd string from the top and the 3rd string from the top with your pointer and your middle finger. Okay? Minor chords always have kind of a sad, bummed out sort of tone to them. Minor chords sound like a frown. But if you were to have a major chord, it's going to sound pretty happy and sunny and positive. Okay? So, next on the list is our D major. Okay? Now our D major, we have our pointer finger. There's different ways of playing different chords. You could play a D major multiple different ways up and down the neck of the guitar. I'm going to show you in its most rudimentary form. You can use different fingers. You're not restricted to playing each of these chords with these same fingers, that kind of deal. All right, so this is our D major chord. We have our pointer finger on the 2nd fret on the 3rd string from the bottom. That's called your G string. Then we have our middle finger on the bottom string in the 2nd fret. We're gonna have our ring finger kind of right between those on the B string. That's the 2nd string from the bottom in the 3rd fret. Now, if you are trying your best and it's coming out like sounding something like this, that could be one of 3 things to watch. If you're not getting a nice clean tone, check for 3 things. First thing is, if we're back too far in the fret, see I'm kind of on the wrong side of the fret, I need to move it more towards the middle. We want to be in the center of the fret. We don't want to be back too far. Because listen to the difference here. But if I just slide it up a little, just so I'm right in the middle of those frets. Nice clean sound, okay? So that's one thing to watch. The next thing to watch is, are you pressing hard enough? Are you? I don't know. Maybe press a little bit harder. You kind of got to play through the pain for the first couple weeks. Your fingers are soft, your fingers are tender, you don't have these calluses yet. Press nice and hard, make sure you're in the center of the fret. The other thing that could be kind of stopping you from getting a nice clean tone out of your chord, maybe you have other fingers in the way, okay? So say I had my pinky finger kind of right there. I might be muting the note that I need. Okay? So that's another thing. Make sure you're using the real tips of your fingers right like that. Yeah, baby. All right, let's backtrack a little bit. We have our E minor chord. That's what it's gonna sound like. We have our D chord. That's what it's gonna sound like. I'm telling you guys, this should be your priority. It's better to start with 4 chords and a couple basic strumming patterns, and then kind of use that as your sort of foundational base. And then we can start learning new chords. Eventually we'll start learning things in different keys and working with different groupings of chords to play even some of these same songs. So that's my suggestion. E minor, D, G, what's the other one? C. Now we're gonna learn G. And actually we're gonna learn G sus. God's favorite chord. It's a bit of a joke there. So G sus, okay? Different people play G different ways. Some people play it like that. That's technically your G major. This is technically your G sus. So we have our middle finger on the top string, 3rd fret, our pointer finger on the 2nd string from the top, 2nd fret, okay? That's your A string. And then you got these next 3 strings open. Like I was saying before, make sure you're really using your fingertips, because a lot of times when people are learning this chord, they get this kind of sound. And the reason for that is this pointer finger is kind of leaning into these other strings, and that's muting those notes, and we need those notes for that chord. Middle finger, E string, that's your top string, 3rd fret. Pointer finger, 2nd fret, 2nd string from the top, that's your A string. On these bottom 2 strings, you have your ring finger and your pinky finger on the B string and on the E string. Beautiful. So there's our G chord. So we're 75% of the way there. So we got E minor, we got G, we got D. A lot of people find this next one to be the most challenging, okay? It's a C chord. Now, we're gonna kind of build a little staircase from the 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, okay? Just imagine it as a staircase. It's like a staircase. Boop, 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 boop. See what, picking up what I'm putting down? You getting it? Our ring finger is gonna be on the 3rd fret, on the A string, that's the 2nd string from the top. Our middle finger is going to be on the 2nd fret, on the 3rd string from the top, and our pointer finger is going to be on the 1st fret, on the 2nd string from the bottom. That's your B string. So, there we have it, a lovely C chord. With these chords, we can play a plethora of songs, okay? We're going to be learning a strumming pattern too, but I'm gonna maybe save that for a different video. I'm gonna play a few examples with a strumming pattern. Let's try Brown Eyed Girl, just using the chords that we used already, okay? I'm gonna try and pick familiar songs to demonstrate for you. So here's our G, our C, our G, then our D, okay? All right, let's try another one. What I Got by Sublime. 2 chords, it's only a G and a D. You know that already.
Early in the morning, rising so straight. Light me up that cigarette and I strap shoes on my feet.
Okay, so there's another example, 2 chords. Okay, let's try this one. Kung Fu Fighting. G and C, only 2 chords.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those cats were fast as lightning. Just like it was a little bit frightening. But they fought with expert timing.
Okay, only 2 chords, a G and a C. So don't get scared off by it. It's like, oh, I don't know, I wouldn't even know where to start. Start with 4 chords. You only need to really start with 2 chords. You can play like a million songs with just 2 chords. Here's Have You Ever Seen the Rain? Just a G chord, C chord, D chord, E minor chord. You know that shit. Someone told me long ago there's a calm before a storm, and I know it's been coming for some time. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. I wanna know, that's a C and a D. Have you ever seen the rain? There's your E minor, C. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a certain day? Okay, there's like a bajillion examples, okay? So once you learn these 4 chords, holla at me, leave a comment. Any song you want to do, I'm going to try and put it in a friendlier key for you so you can at least get through most of it with these 4 chords, okay? Please focus, learn that first, and then we have a good launch pad. We can really build something off of that. This has been the first instructional video for Pick Media. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions for future tutorials, please leave a comment. Love to help you out. Let's get you started playing some music. Okay, so everybody, that about wraps up our tutorial for today.